Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're coming at you with a new video here today because the Silver and Black have signed wide receiver Chris Lacy. So what you're going to see here on today's show is I'm going to break down what y'all can look forward to in terms of the next week, maybe 2 weeks for Lacy being on the team. We'll tell you what player the Raiders released, and I have an injury update on Johnathan Hankins and defensive tackle Bilal Nichols. Now, I made a video today already, but you know what? I'm a real one, and I want to know who else is a real one down in the chat. So if you are a real one for life, a die-hard Raider fan, somebody who bleeds silver and black, then please spam that down in the comments right now. So when you see the name Chris Lacy, I'm not going to lie, my first initial thought I saw Lacy and I was like, Eddie Lacy? No, totally different person here, right? 6'3", 205-pound wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. He was a UDFA, and this might surprise you. Guess what team signed him when he was a UDFA in 2018? The New England Patriots. Career 3 catches, 60 yards with a long of 48, no touchdowns. And this is somebody who's a native of DeSoto, Texas, which is actually not too far away from where I am right now in Dallas, Texas. But with this move, that means, unfortunately, the Raiders did have to move on from a player. They go from Chris Lacy, and they move on from Jordan Veasy, who didn't really get anything going, whether that be in the preseason, has yet to put up any stats in the NFL, but he was a bigger receiver. So essentially, you take one larger receiver, and you move on from him. If you're wondering how much of an impact is this going to make on the team and the depth chart, I'll talk about all of that here in just a second. But my thing is this. I know Raider Nation has got that commitment to excellence, and my team here at Chat Sports, so do we. So when the Raiders make a move, we're going to be making a video to make sure you guys don't miss anything, whether it be a small minor signing like Chris Lacy. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. So now let's look at the Raiders' updated wide receiver depth chart. Yeah, as you can see, I put him at the very, very bottom of the list. This is not a blockbuster type of deal. It's not even a big type of deal. I'm still waiting for the Raiders to go out and sign some bigger name players out there. What I do see is this. One of the biggest question marks for this Raiders team is how many receivers are they going to keep? And in terms of some of these bottom level type of guys, can you also add some special teams experience when the first roster cuts come? Who ends up making it? Because August 16th, you're going to go from 90 to 85. Then you go 85 to 80. I anticipate Lacy is probably one of the players that the Raiders decide to move on from ultimately. So we will continue to break down the news here around Lacy. But he's played for the New England Patriots, been on the practice squad. The Detroit Lions is the only team that he's actually got some run in, which is where all those stats came. 3 catches, all those, right? 3 catches for 60 yards, no touchdowns. Also was on the Cowboys practice squad and on the Chicago Bears practice squad last season. So the practice squad of Chicago, I do think, is another reason why the Raiders brought him in. He's got that connection with Champ Kelly. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, let's look at some injuries around the defensive tackle position, because I spoke with Johnathan Hankins early this morning just trying to see how my guy's doing, and he didn't provide me with many words, but essentially he said, I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm hoping I come back pretty soon, which is nothing that we haven't already discussed here, but I am hoping that not only is he ready to go soon, he's going to be practicing soon. He had surgery on May 17th. When I spoke to him back at the burger eating contest, he told me then he felt like a brand new guy. He has been working out. He's been staying in shape. He wants to come and already get into the workout room, but the trainers are holding him back right now. Hankins is not going to play against Minnesota in the preseason game on August 14th. I don't anticipate that he's going to play on the 20th either. The only chance that Hankins is going to play in a preseason game, from what I understand, is going to be on the 26th against the New England Patriots. Another update here around Bilal Nichols, who's dealing with that knee injury. It was a torn meniscus, and the fact that that happened when it did 2 months ago, it does sound like he's ramping it up. Again, not going to be out there up against the Minnesota Vikings this week in the preseason game, but hopefully he can get out there on the practice field soon, because the Raiders released their depth chart, and this was the depth chart that they released in terms of other players. The depth chart that you see on screen is what I think the Raiders are going to go with week 1. Hankins is one of your top guys. Bilal Nichols is one of your top guys. And then it's the 2 rookies that you drafted, Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler. However, if you look at the latest depth chart that the Silver and Black put out, Vernon Butler's ranked dead last. Andrew Billings, Tyler Lancaster, and Kyle Petco are actually the top 3 most healthy defensive tackles. And then, well, Kendall Vickers is buried a little bit there. So when you look at the Raiders DTs, what should have grade the room? I know, we're going to go back to school here. Some of y'all are already back in school already. But A, B, C, D, or F. A is it's a great defensive tackle room. B, it's good. C, it's average. D, it's bad. F, it's a fail. When I look at that room, I want to be confident. But my job here on this show is to be a real one with you. And I always give my honest opinion. It's a D at absolute best. That room is a D, which is why I want the Raiders to go out and get a player like Ndamukong Suh. Suh tweeted out today, who's going to win the Super Bowl? I quote tweeted that said the Raiders. All the comments underneath are, the Raiders will if you win it. I would really like to see that happen. And if that happens, guess what? You're getting another video, but we're going to be live for that one. We don't only make videos on YouTube, we also make extra videos over on Locals. And the way that I would describe Locals is if you're looking for a video podcast or more podcasty type of theme, then this is for you. It is for local supporters only, which is $10 a month, or you can do $100 for the year and you just get 2 extra videos, which I do not put out to the public. It is for exclusive people only. The live video I do, I open up to the live public. But I got asked today when I was walking to work, which Raiders player do you think is the most likely to get traded? I tell you, that video is out there at RaidersReport.locals.com. What about my 5 key takeaways from the new Raiders depth chart? That video is also available to you on Locals. So you go to RaidersReport.locals.com, become a member, and then you can watch some of those videos because I think you guys are going to enjoy it, unless you're not a diehard Raider fan. So the reason why I made today's video is because I wanted to keep you up to date on everything going on around Chris Lacy, him signing, the Raiders moving on from Jordan Veasy. Tom Downey was nice enough to send me his draft notes on Lacy because Tom's one of the best in the biz, so I'm going to read these off here. I can't read. Oh, man. Academic All Big 12 selection. Very smart player is what Tom has, and he's got very smart in all caps here. Lacks the functional athletic ability to uncover underneath and doesn't have the ball skills to consistently win and consistent catches. Don't think that he can really make it in the NFL. Finished his career with just 63 catches. So Tom is a little bit of a mixed bag there. He does have him as a 7th-round grade / UDFA. What I see there is, well, he had at least a chance to be drafted. But again, was a UDFA in 2018. The Patriots gave him a chance, but he was on the Chicago Bears practice squad last season where Champ Kelly got to see him, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why the Raiders signed him today. Now, the Raiders do have a preseason game coming up, and man, I can't wait. I had a hell of a time with Jeremy Chuggs on Thursday. It was last Thursday. Now this one, we get 10 days of rest. We're ready for some more boots. We're ready for some more fireballs, and we're ready for the new kid, Patrick Seatman, to get washed. And not only are the Raiders going to take care of this game, we're going to make sure that Seep knows that there is only one nation, because I'm still upset that he called it Vikings Nation on both of his Twitter accounts. So if you want to join me, Jeremy Chuggs, and Seatman on August 14th on Sunday, we're going to be going live 15 minutes before kickoff. For those of you that don't know, that's 4:10 Eastern Time, 1:10 Pacific. So join the party. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. I would definitely appreciate it. So you see that? It's changing colors. Yeah, shout out to Sam. Keep changing those colors. Hit that sub button, y'all, and join the party. All right, y'all, so Chris Lacy is now the newest member of the Raiders. I do not anticipate that he's going to make the 53-man roster. It's going to be an extra body for the preseason. With that move, Jordan Veasy, sorry, man, out the door, no longer a member of the team. Johnathan Hankins, going to be practicing soon. Hopefully, we see him in some preseason action, but I would say it's probably not very likely. Bilal Nichols, he's going to be back practicing. Not this week. I'm hoping for next week in that. But if you were to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you would already know a lot of this information. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, please Scan that QR code right there. It's going to drop you right to Mitchell Renz 365. And if you want to give me a follow on Instagram as well, because every time I do a video, a lot of times I also post it on my IG story and I post it on Twitter. You can scan that QR code right there. That way, if you, for whatever reason, are in a certain situation where you can't watch a video, maybe you're at a meeting. I don't know, maybe you're sitting at church. You probably shouldn't be watching a video in church, but I can keep you up to date. So go Twitter, Instagram, scan those QR codes. That way you never miss a thing.